Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. At first, it didn't look like much. No dramatic gestures, no headline-worthy interactions, no obvious display meant for cameras. Just a quiet shift in energy between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, so subtle that it might have gone unnoticed if fans weren't paying close attention. But once they did notice it, everything changed. For a long time, fans comfortably placed Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun in the category of former co-stars with mutual respect. Their chemistry in The King, Eternal Monarch was undeniable, yet after the drama ended, both moved on with their careers in ways that felt separate and professional. There were no constant mentions of each other, no forced nostalgia, and no public attempts to keep the pairing alive. And because of that, many assumed whatever connection they shared had ended with the final episode. But recently, something shifted. It wasn't announced. It wasn't staged. And that's exactly why fans found it impossible to ignore. What caught attention wasn't a single moment, but a pattern, a quiet consistency in the way they reacted to each other in shared spaces. A change in body language, a softened gaze, a familiarity that didn't feel rehearsed or accidental. When two people have truly moved on from each other, their interactions tend to become neutral, distant, or overly polite. What fans noticed between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun felt like the opposite. There was comfort there. And comfort, as fans know, doesn't come easily, especially in an industry where every movement is observed, every interaction dissected. During one public appearance, cameras captured a brief exchange between the two. No words were clearly heard, but the way Kim Go-eun smiled, small, unguarded, and immediate, was enough to spark questions. Lee Min-ho's response was just as telling. He didn't laugh loudly or play to the camera. Instead, he leaned slightly toward her, as if the moment belonged only to them. It lasted seconds, but for fans who replayed it over and over, it felt deeply familiar. This wasn't the energy of two actors reminiscing about past work. It felt personal. What stood out most was what didn't happen. There was no exaggerated distance, no visible awkwardness, no sense of two people being cautious about how they appeared together. Instead, there was ease, the kind that suggests history, trust, and an ongoing emotional understanding. Fans began comparing older interactions to recent ones, and that's when the subtle change became impossible to deny. In the past, their exchanges were warm but contained, friendly yet clearly framed within professional boundaries. Now, those boundaries seemed less defined, not crossed but softened. Lee Min-ho, known for his composed public demeanor, appeared more relaxed around Kim Go-eun than he does with most colleagues. His posture shifted. His expressions changed. He listened differently. These aren't things that can be easily faked, especially when the cameras aren't the focus. Kim Go-eun, on the other hand, showed signs of familiarity that went beyond politeness. The way she responded to him felt instinctive, not performative. There was no hesitation, no second-guessing of how she should react. Just presence. And fans noticed something else: timing. At a point in both of their careers where privacy matters more than publicity, any unnecessary attention would be avoided, which makes these moments even more intriguing. If this were just fan service, it would be louder, more obvious, more controlled. Instead, what people saw were fleeting, almost accidental moments, glimpses that seemed to slip through rather than be presented. That's why fans started asking a different kind of question. Not, are they dating? But, why does this feel ongoing? Because whatever is happening doesn't feel new. It feels continued. Online discussions quickly shifted tone. Instead of wild speculation, fans began talking about emotional progression, about how relationships don't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes they deepen quietly. Sometimes, the most serious connections are the ones no one tries to prove. What changed the perception most was the absence of performance. There was no need to impress. No visible effort to define the interaction. Just two people sharing space in a way that felt natural and unforced. And for fans who have followed both actors for years, that naturalness stood out more than any dramatic moment ever could. Another detail fans couldn't ignore was how others around them reacted. In group settings, people often unconsciously acknowledge dynamics. Subtle pauses, side glances, the way conversations shift. In more than one instance, fans noticed how those nearby seemed to give Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun their own bubble, small but noticeable. It wasn't isolation, it was respect. And respect usually follows something meaningful. What makes this moment particularly compelling is how it contrasts with typical celebrity narratives. There are no rumors fueled by paparazzi photos. No insider leaks. No strategic silence meant to provoke curiosity. Just observation. Fans seeing something change and trusting their instincts. And instincts, especially collective ones, are rarely random. Longtime fans of Lee Min-ho know how carefully he manages his public image. He doesn't open up easily, and when he does, it's deliberate. Kim Go-eun, known for her authenticity and emotional intelligence, has always drawn clear boundaries between her private and public life. For both of them to allow even subtle vulnerability in shared spaces suggests intention, not exposure. Intention. Some fans believe this shift points to a relationship evolving behind the scenes, one that doesn't need validation or explanation. Others see it as two people reconnecting on a deeper level after time apart. Whatever the truth is, the change is undeniable. It's no longer just friendship in the way fans once understood it. There's something more layered now. More careful, more grounded, and perhaps most telling of all is how neither of them seems in a rush to define it. In a world where everything is rushed, labeled, and announced, this quiet progression feels almost rare. It reminds fans that real connections don't always announce themselves. Sometimes, they simply show up in the way two people look at each other when they think no one is watching. And that's why this moment changed the way fans see them. Not because it confirmed anything, but because it revealed something real, something human. Whether Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun are moving toward a more serious relationship or simply sharing a bond that continues to grow, one thing is clear. This isn't a connection frozen in the past. It's active, it's present, and it's evolving. And fans will keep watching, not for proof, but for understanding. Because sometimes, the quietest moments say the most.